You know, it's tough being a recording engineer, especially for the young guys. You know, you get these middle-aged bastards that won't share any information. Recording school costs a shit ton of money, with dubious value, mind you. And to top it off, nobody wants to pay you for your work. Why the fuck would anybody want this job? Love the music? Must be because any sane person would run away from this bullshit. Yep, it's time here on SpectreSoundStudios for another episode of the very popular and unfortunately very true Stupid Musician Text. Let's get right to it with this guy who's destined to win a very important award.
Hey, I want to record an EP with finished songs on it. I don't want to be one of those guys who shanned out albums and shit. I want to step up the music game and win on Oscar. Think you can help me out? I have hundreds of songs recorded on my Fin, but I need help recording them EP LOL. What is your price range? Hey man, I've read that message a few times and I can't help but point out that releasing an EP is not stepping up the music game. EPs are mainly something artists release before recording and releasing an album. I charge $2.75 a day, but includes food and beer. Oh, and if you wanted an Oscar, you should consider acting. You can fuck right off with your $2.75 a day and your smarts attitude. For your info, I already have an EP with real finished songs on it, and this was only a test to see how serious you take your job, LOL. You failed the test, bro. Oh, and an Oscar is what musicians get, not a Grammy, fucktard. I think you failed your English test. This is my job, and I have a great studio that I've been building and improving ever since 1994, and I'm happy to say morons like you don't deserve to ever be welcome here. I'm sorry you weren't happy with my price range, but good luck with your EP.
Good luck in pursuing your dreams, pal. You definitely deserve an Oscar. Moving on, let's take a look at this guy who just can't understand why he has to pay more than poverty wages for a recording.
I have to bring something to your attention, though. I can't do the $40 mixes anymore. I will be living on my own very soon, and the money wouldn't be worth the work. Sorry to do this to you, man, but I have to make a more serious living off of my craft.
I was about to send you another record just now, too.
So what could you do for me as you see I'm constant and consistent. Consistent. I really can't go lower than $125 a mix. I'm charging everybody $200.
Damn! Yeah, I know you told me it would only be me and my bro that $40 mixes are for.
I know I can't afford $125, that's a lot, and that was the whole reason I was looking when I met you, you know. I understand, but we are also not tied by contract either. The $40 just isn't worth the time that I have to put into the mixes. I have to focus on things that will actually pay my bills, brother.
So you can't charge me no less than $125. I understand that the aspect, but I was under the impression it was just me you had that going on with. And I just had another baby. July 22nd, so more than 40 definitely. Understand, but is there a way you can do less than $125 a record? And it be exclusive to me then, because you see, with my mixes, they are straight to the point, not too much back and forth.
Unfortunately, they haven't been that way. They have been very much back and forth, and it hasn't even been you. Feisty was another person that took advantage of the deal I have exclusively to you. In our initial conversation, it was only supposed to be for your music and not anybody else's. I am sorry that I can't do it for the price you are asking. Understand that though you may not be able to afford it, you are working on the side. As for me, this is my business full time.
Yeah, that was that one time, and when I saw how that went, it was a curved situation. I'm saying from now on, just me could do it for 80 or even 100.
Even at $100, it's half my price. If we are working at $100, I can't do revisions. I can give you the session if you want, but it's still too low as far as full service.
But 80, could that work for you? Full service meaning what? The first mix is final? Like, if I wanted to change the levels on ad-libs and stuff, that wouldn't be included?
Yes, what that means is it's final, and you don't get to fuck with it after the fact. For you guys out there thinking about a career in audio, get ready for the mix recalls. That's when clients can't make up their minds and burn up your time on the most minor bullshit imaginable. You know, that's one of the main things analog had going for it. Once a song was mixed, that was it. In most cases, anyway. The real problem these days is knowing when to say enough. It's done. And that's why it's so important to charge hourly. And then charge double your hourly rate for recalls, because it gets that shit under control real fast.
Of course, this is just my opinion, but I think you should also consider recording aspiring groups yourself. I know it's art, but it can also be your livelihood. Something like $10 to $20, I have no idea what a reasonable negotiation would be. To do a recording session would benefit both groups. I'd say a win-win for you. Get your name out, build business relations, good experience, and so much more. Your time is worth something. You're obviously really tech-savvy and have a good supply of equipment, so you would be doing a huge service to bands who don't have the experience or equipment that don't necessarily want to work on their computer skills.
$10 to $20 is like working for a burger.
It's a theoretical price. I have no idea what the time equivalent quality is. Even so, $20 to do something you love is better than no money to do something you love. If anything, it's a start. You're right, it's not about the money.
You said this could be his livelihood. I don't know where you live, but my electricity and rent don't pay for themselves.
10 to 20 bucks for a recording session? Do these people even fucking hear themselves? How the hell is anyone supposed to live off 20 bucks, much less pay bills and buy new gear? And it never ceases to amaze me how far musicians will devalue the work of a recording engineer. Fuckers.
Hey man, just wondering about that gig. Do we get paid? Or is there other info you can give me?
You're too young.
Okay, thanks. Die.
What?
Sorry, other band members acting up on my phone. Ignore that.
Yeah, it's never a good idea to leave your phone laying around where your bandmates can get a hold of it. At least password it, especially if it has easy access to your Facebook account, as the world might just find out about some surprising new fetish you have.
I wanted to mix a few of my ideas and put it on a demo. I know a guy who's big into the Nashville scene and is coming up really big. If he gives out copies of this demo, I'll advertise you on the back. And what kind of strings you like?
Right now I'm digging a set of GHS Bass Boomer 45s. I also have loved Daddario XL's Nickel Wound 45s.
Or I can even do some grunt work for you. Getting the name on the streets, LOL. And I may just get a set of each as a gift because I don't buy your presents very often.
They are about $30 to $50 a set. Not cheap strings, homie.
I'll get you one string. Final offer. How much y'all charging on the EP?
Probably $7 for physical, $5 for digital, 8 tracks on the EP.
I may buy a few copies and give them away to people when I gig with that guy on Broadway, if that's cool.
Broadway?
Yeah, dude. Broadway, Nashville. Huge music scene.
Never heard of Broadway, Nashville. When are you going out there?
Not sure yet. He said whenever I wanted. It's just a matter of when I'm free.
Awesome! It just so happens I have a very nice bridge for sale on Broadway in Nashville. Perhaps that guy would like to buy it, but probably not, as he's too cheap to buy an entire set of bass strings. And next up, here's a shot somebody sent me of probably the stupidest mic technique I've ever seen. Half covered and aimed up the singer's nose. I bet you he sounded just fucking amazing. Speaking of amazing singers, I'm gonna break form here and actually name a name because, well, if you're gonna threaten somebody over the internet, you should own it. Here's a nice, friendly message from Trap's Chris Taylor Brown. Bear in mind, he sent this just after posting publicly about bullying.
You sure are a nice man, Chris. It's nice to see you behaving rationally and not showing that you deserve to be put in a mental institution. Who the fuck are you? Say that to my face. It's not that hard. We play Spokane very soon. We'll love to see you. Oh wait, that is Rob. I'm going to have to pay him a visit and stop this BS. Where are you based out of? I like to solve my problems using organized violence, as words really don't do justice on a keyboard.
I literally have no words for that. You guys make up your own minds on that one.
I think final decision will be made the 14th, brah. I am not cocky. I just have confidence. Got bored. Stisterson working on logos. Was bored, XD. Going to BS a tad bit late. My old lady is still sleeping.
When do you plan on leaving?
Whenever my girlfriend decides to get fucking ready. I hate women.
Does she have to come with you?
Da. What's the latest we can make this work? She claims I never said anything about it being at 2 o'clock. WTF. Ever. LOL. I talked about it all day yesterday and the specific time too. But dance is still happening. Just a little later than expected. Ib's still pumped.
Does she have to come? Don't bother coming now. We have other shit to take care of.
It's cool. Maybe some other time when the stars align just right. Besides, I was given a day and a half to learn your song.
Wow! Good thing he spent his time working on that awesome logo instead of learning the material. And bringing his girlfriend along, that's always a guarantee of a great session. But don't get me wrong, not all musicians are complete idiots. Check this guy out.
Hi, man. I forgot to give you money for mixing that song. Can I come over tomorrow and give it to you?
Yeah, sure. I appreciate this. I actually try to make a living out of this, and some people do not even have the balls to say they owe me money. Thanks, man.
Thank you for your time.
Dude, we need more musicians like you. You rock. Of course, everybody asks me to post up some stuff about stupid engineers. And while searching for some material, I stumbled across this one on the Chango forum.
Does anyone know why this happens when I record something in stereo? For some weird reason, it only comes out through one speaker. I'm using a Sapphire Pro 40 bottom waveform. I've tried fixing it in the settings, but I may be doing something wrong.
Are you recording a stereo source or a mono source? If it's just a mono source, you need to create and record it onto a mono track rather than a stereo track.
Honestly, I'm not even sure. LOL.
What are you recording?
Vocals. Which should be in stereo.
No, mono.
Okay, thank you.
NP.
I know people usually record vocals in stereo, that's why I was wondering.
All right, I'm not gonna knock the guy that hard. We're all new at one point, and this stuff can be pretty daunting at first. but damn, that shit is hilarious. Just to clarify for the new guys and the guys who want to learn, most of what you're recording should be going to mono tracks. Unless you're recording keyboards, stick to mono, at least for rock and metal anyway. Vocals are recorded in mono and then panned in the stereo field, unless you're using a stereo mic array for some reason. Next up, here's one that we have all had to deal with at one point or another.
Awesome. Does Tuesday 12:30 to 4:30 work? Sounds good. Cool. I'll see you then. Hey man, I still have you wrote up for 12:30 to 4:30. We still good for that? You're free to come anytime now. Timer started, brother. Just had to get some sleep, man. I'm up and around now.
Yep, there's nothing I like more than prepping the studio and sitting around with my thumb up my ass waiting for the client to get his ass out of bed. That's after he texts you 2 fucking hours after you're supposed to show up. I fucking love this job. And as always, I've saved the best for last. This one's short and sweet, but it's something every band needs to hear.
One dude would only charge $700 for 3 songs and the quality was there. But I think working with you would open more doors, and I might sound like a dick right now, LOL.
I don't want to drop my rates because time equals dollars equals quality. And I don't want to cheapen my rates to sacrifice quality.
I feel it, but what in my band was the next big thing?
I'll be honest, the bands who are the next big thing are the bands with budget for recording and marketing.
And that, folks, is how the music industry really works. It used to be you could write a killer song and break through into stardom. These days, not so much. It really depends on how good looking you are and how much a record company is willing to spend selling your image to the public. Okay, that's it for this episode. This series really depends on you, so if you've got some crazy text you'd like to share with the rest of us, please hit me up at the Spectre Media Facebook page. And if you like this shirt, you can find this one and others at spectremedia.ca/shop. See you next time.